Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will see the Excel VBA select case branching method. So this is like a if statement. So there is another branching method called select case. So here from the Excel workbook, we'll go to the developer menu and jump into the Visual Basic. Here you can see this is the first example. The expression for testing is directly we are entering the data into this sub procedure. So the first private sub procedure is select case example 1, that is we are declaring the variable a as integer. So we are assigning to that a 20. So using the select case, the select case is a. The variable already we defined here as integer. So the first case between that select case is 10. If the A is 10, if the select case A is 10, then there will be message box. First case is matched. Then there's another case 20. Then there will be message box. If the case is matched with the select case A, then there will be the message. The second case is matched. Likewise, we can assign some case. In the case else, we can give a message box. None of the cases matched. A is none of from these 4 cases, then there will be the message none of the cases matched. So we can run this. Finally, we have to close the select case statement using end select. So now we can compile this VBA project. Then we will run this one. You can see the second case is matched because the A is 20 here. The select case A. When the case is 20 only, the message box will appear. The second case is matched. We will see the next example. This is the next example we have here. Example 2. This is expression for testing is compared with the range of values using the 2 keyword. So this is the second sub procedure. Here now at the moment we will comment out this on error resume and on error go to 0. We will comment them. We are declaring the variable students marks as integer as it is earlier. We are declaring this. In the previous example, we assigned to that variable an integer. Here we are getting that integer, the students marks, from the user using the input box. In the input box, ask the user to input the marks between 1 to 100 as per our requirement. So here select case is student marks. We already declared this variable and the variable we found from the user. So the first case 1 to 36, between 1 to 36. If the user entered the number, then message box will be failed. If it is 37 to 56, then the message box like this. Likewise, we can get the message box. The case else, if the user gave any number not between 1 to 100, then there will be message out of range. Okay, and select. Now we can compile and we will run this one. There's a input box, enter marks between 1 to 100. Now we will enter 85. Okay, A grade, you can see the 85 between this case. Okay, now we will run this again. 35. Okay, you can see it is 5. Now we will type 0. You can see out of range. Now we will run this again and 108 out of range. At the moment we will keep this blank. There's error type mismatch. Okay, we will reset this. We will run this again. We will type non-integer because the variable defined as integer. Now we will type non-integer. There's also type mismatch. That's why we will reset this. We put the on error resume next. If there is any error, it will jump to the next. Finally, on error go to 0. It will go to the 0. Now we will compile and we can run this again. Okay, we will keep this empty. Okay, again out of range. Now it is jumping to the next. we can type non-integer out of range. Okay, now we will go to the next example. This is the third example. Expression for testing is compared with numbers using the is keyword. Here we are going to use the select case using the is keyword. The sub procedure check number, we are going to check the number. So here also I put the on error resume next in the top. Before the ends up, I put the on error go to 0 to avoid the errors. This is the way of not fixing the errors. This is to avoid the errors. So same as earlier, we are declaring the variable num input as integer. We are getting the input from user using input box. So the select case is num input, the variable declared here. The first case is using the is keyword is less than 100. If the user entered a number less than 100, the message box, you entered a number less than 100. The next case is greater than equal to 100. Then the message box, you entered a number greater than or equal to 100 based on the number entered by the user. Okay, we are closing the select statement. We will compile this and we will run this. Enter a number, we will enter 100. Okay, you entered a number greater than or equal to 100. Now we'll run this again. 150. This also greater than equal to 100. Now we'll enter less than 100. 99. You entered a number less than 100. So this is the way of using the is keyword in the select case statement. Okay, now we will move to another example. This is the another example. Example number 4. Expression for testing is entered in a cell and evaluated by the command button. Okay, this is the subprocedure to test the color. Variable declaration color as string. This is the string. So we are getting the color from the range. The range a1 dot value is that color, the variable we are assigning from this one. So from the select case statement, the select case is color, that is in the a1 range. So first case is red, green, yellow, whatever the color, the string is from the a1 range. Then from the b1 range, we are assigning 1. If the a1 range has white, black or brown, then in the b1 range, we are assigning 2. Likewise, blue or sky blue, then we are assigning 3 in the b1 range. If the case else, if we entered instead out of this color or whatever the any text, then we are assigning number 4 in the b1 range. Now we will write a color black color. That should be in the range a1. In the a1 we will write black. So this is the subprocedure color. So from the developer menu, from the insert, we'll get a button. So here we will draw that button. We will select this workbook and the subprocedure. We have to select the color. Okay, we can rename this color. Okay, now we will run this button. By clicking this button, we can run this subprocedure. Okay, you can see black. In the b1 cell, number 2 is printed. So black should be in the case 2 here. Okay, now we will try green color. So number 1 should be there. Green. Now we will run this one. Okay, number 1. Now we will type some any other text. Okay, we will run this number 4 because in the case cells number 4. Okay, now we will jump to the another example. Okay, this is the next example. Example number 5. Expression for testing is divided by 2 with the MOD operator of VBA. So this is a sub procedure check odd even numbers. So here on error presume next and on error go to 0. So we are declaring the variable sec value as integer. So we are going to set the value. This is as an integer. Also we are getting the sec value, the integer from the user using input box. So the select case is directly here. We are writing sec value that will be from the user mod2 that is equal to 0. So if the sec value is, if this is an even number only, this will be 0, right? Then to make this true, the case true is here. If the case, this is the case, right? Select, this is the select case. If the case is true, there will be the message box, the number is even. If this is false, it means if the answer is 1, then this is false. The case is false. Then message box, there's a, the number is odd. Okay. Now we will compile and run this one. Okay, we can enter the number here. 50. Then number is even because sec value is 50. When we divided it by 2, the remaining is 0. Okay, now we can run this again. 49. That is odd number, right? Already we know. The number is odd because when we divide the sec value with the 49 divided by 2, remaining will be 1. So this is false. So the case is false. Right? Now we will move to the next example. Okay, this is the next example. Example number 6. Nested select case statements where expression for testing is the current date. We are going to test the current date. Sub-procedure named as test the weekday if the today is weekday or weekend. So there are two cases, 1,7 within this select case, weekday now. So within that this case, there is another select case, the nested case statements. So the next select case also weekday now, we are testing the now, today, what is the day. If the case is 1, then message box, today is Sunday. In the case else, today is Saturday. Then we are closing the select case statement. Then from the first select case statement, this is the first case and the case else is message box, today is a weekday, right? Within the nested case, we are getting Sunday and Saturday, weekend. From the first case, first select case, the first case is to get the weekend and the case else is to get the weekday. So today is 28th June, today is day Wednesday. When we run this, there will be the message box, today is weekday. So we will run this one. You can see today is weekday. Okay. In this way, we can use the select case statement in our VBA projects. Thank you for watching.